This is my entry to the Big Bang Racing Creation Challenge 2016. For those of you who don't know what it is, there will be a link in the description. The video is about how I make my level Elemental Auto. I'll be showing bits and pieces of clips and explaining what is happening, spanning the creation of the whole level. Now that that's over with, let's get straight into it. Like anyone else, I picked the vehicle type and size of my level. For auto levels, adventure is necessary, and I prefer choosing off-roader and tiny dome. Before I make any level, I always get rid of the dirt at the bottom and tap drive then edit again to get rid of the annoying tap to move text. I started here with a line showing the path of the level so I can get my bearings. Once I start building, I remove it as I go since it will no longer be necessary. My idea for the start of the level was a boulder flip, so I built it quickly and tried out. It does not work whatsoever. So I try using a fan to rotate the player so they can land properly, which ends up working not so well either. I settled on using a portal and gravity switch to take advantage of the player being upside down. Treadmills were added afterwards to get the player moving after exiting the portal. I died. I moved the gravity switch up so there'd be more time to change direction, and it works. I then add a loop and a gravity switch to get the player upright again, with some fans to boost them along. I do a little bit of touching up to make sure the player and boulder will be safe. A large loop has been added on with a metal end to it. Realizing there would be no possible way to make it around it, I had a gravity switch at the end of a line of treadmills. My level creating is all over the place because as soon as I see a mistake, I work to fix it, potentially ignoring what I was working on prior to the discovery. After a quick look around, I add the portal to connect to the next area. I then use the guide to make the new path here, and here with added black holes. As I add in the second pair of portals, I decided I want to change the material of the two new sections. This to ice, and some metal where the portal will be. I changed this to metal with some elevators up top. The elevators work miraculously just as intended first time, but I forgot to move the portal. So I do that and add some ice in the metal area by its portal. Finding that I also forgot a way to get to the portal, I add some treadmills and touch up the loop a bit. This level took me a lot less time than normal because even though I took breaks, I spent them planning what I would do next and the whole level was all done in one day. I wanted a more interesting look for the shared material around the portal, so I cut it up here, and here, and here, and here. I added more black holes and treadmills to fix the earlier problem. I made it to the portal just fine, then died horrifically by smashing my face on the wall, and the treadmills didn't work either. I replaced the treadmills here with a fan for slower speed. I also removed some black holes and re-angled the treadmills. It worked, well, better I guess. Then this happened while testing. It's to be expected because the game runs a level slightly differently every time, so you have to catch and fix as many of these potential errors as you can by testing, especially in auto levels. The fan was put in place to hopefully push any stray players that little bit further they needed to get to the portal. one was added here too. I touched up a lot of the curves, loops, and hills in the level, including the little treadmill line at the end. And for the first time, we actually get to the finish. Now I know it's completable, I add on decorative elements like this electric strip underneath the elevators. One of the first things I planned to have in the level from the start was barrels dropping, so I add that too. First test was far too slow. I move the force field switch and try again. Before I get to that though, I die early on again. I easily eliminate that problem by getting rid of the material there. I get to the barrels, but they kill me. Readjusting doesn't help this time. Or this time. Or this time. But I finally make it through and am able to see them explode behind me. I start filling up the empty space in the level on the ice side. I start doing the same with the metal, but with an indent pattern edge. It ends up turning out pretty awesome. Now that I have the complex metal edge done, I fill in the rest with dirt. I start a tiny bit of detailing with the dirt, but I don't get too far. I am very particular about my levels, and I will do things such as smoothen out a slope and then revisit it even up to 3 more times to smoothen it more later. Since I like things to be as perfect as possible, I will quite often completely redo things. I liked the detailed metal, so I detailed the ice side too. I liked the look of that as well. So, I used that all over the ice area. I continued with material detailing with the dirt. I also put in a few decorative holes. After checking over the whole level, I play through it. And then decide maybe it'd be a good idea to make the maps accessible. I placed in the maps, but the bottom seemed a bit plain, so I added a ramp over some spikes. The boulder pocket was made deeper as to prevent errors as well. The jump did not help much with getting over the spikes. So I made it steeper, and died again. Another adjustment was successful, but I still passed over the jump. Finally it worked acceptably, although I still changed it later anyways. I decided to start decorating using the actual decorations, throwing them in where it seemed necessary. I did that until the thermometer was full. I switched back to editing the physical level, and I moved the jump closer to the loop, which improved it again. To make it even smoother, I raised the landing for the entrance to the loop, finishing off the physical level. I then shifted some decorations around as a final touch. After many more tests with no errors, I made it live. I like picking pictures with as much in them as possible, and I picked a name that is related to the level, making sure to include auto because after all, it is an auto level. My favorite part is right as it is published and you see it on your profile for the first time. I went off and played 2 levels on the world and opened the add chest before coming back to check on it. I hope you found this enjoyable to watch, and although it took a long time to edit, I certainly enjoyed making it. Let me know what you thought down in the comments section, or if you want to see more videos like this. Thanks for watching.